Oh, hello there. I didn't see you there. I'm currently just here terraforming a little bit of land right here because I actually want to make something in this area. A massive city spanning from what we made in the last episode, the farming district right there, over to the storage district right here. And it's going to be a pretty big task, but I'm going to start off by clearing out a lot of land here, flattening it to about this layer right here. And here we are. I would like to formally introduce you to the city of Caldera. You know, before we continue for a second, I just want to say that I'm quite proud of myself for actually having some lore in a building, because you know I'm just kind of impressed. I've never done this before. On a more serious note though, when I moved over to this area from my old base, I did know that I wanted all of this to be connected together, and this is kind of that. So what I mean by that is all of the buildings that we built here, the farm on the top up there, the storage district here, this bridge with the tower, and the the farming district over here, I'm sorry, is all going to be connected with this area here. And just to get a big scope of what this land actually looks like, this is how big it's gonna be. It's quite big, except I want to make it potentially bigger. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it yet, but I would like to potentially make it bigger by terraforming this land over here, the one that's kind of below the farming district over here. And then that way I have a direct city connecting both the farming district and the storage district over here completely together. And the city of Caldera is going to be one of many within the kingdom of... I can't tell you that. That's spoilers. I got to keep you guys interested for the next couple of episodes, but I want you guys to know it's very much inspired like Zelda. You know, in that game, you have like the Kingdom of Hyrule, and then you have all the, you know, small towns there, like the Gerudo town, you have Zora's Domain. That's kind of what this is going to be like. Now, before we get to the building, we're going to be trying to do a little bit of a different building process. Now, usually, as you guys know, when I build something like this, I usually start by building like the walls like over there, and then I start building the buildings, except we are going to be doing the buildings last. What I think we're going to do in order is we're going to build the walls over there, kind of like how we usually do, and then we're going to make the path. Then from there, we're going to outline where I want the buildings to go. And then from there, we aren't going to build the buildings. Why would you think we're going to build the buildings at that point? No, of course, we're going to do all the decorations with like the light posts and things like that. Because I've learned that when I build up the buildings, I realize I don't account for the things I want to put on the main road. Like I don't account for things like trees, and I don't account for things like the lamppost, for example. So we're going to try and learn and improve on our building. So that's what we're going to be doing in today's episode. So let's go ahead and start working on the block palette, because I have a rough idea of what I would like to use. Now, we're going to start off again by doing the walls over here, you know, like holding up the platform here. Now, I have a couple of shulker boxes of things. I have some normal tuff here. I have some cobbled deep slate here, and I have some andesite because I do actually want to try and use some andesite, honestly. Now, I think one thing that I'm going to be using is polished deep slate, because we've been using it for both that farming district over there, and we use it over here in the storage district right here. So I think by using the polished deep slate here, that's kind of like the one block that's kind of been present throughout the entire thing, if that makes sense. And then let's try making a stack of polished andesite, and let's see if we can get a design going. I'm not too sure what I would like to do. Okay, so this is what I have so far, and I think that it's pretty good, except I really want to try and get some of the tuff in here. I don't know which one, but I would like to get some kind of variant in there. I'm kind of leaning more towards tough bricks, but maybe we actually get here, let's try getting some tough brick wall and then some normal tough bricks, because I think what could be kind of cool is maybe in the middle of the 3 wide over here, maybe we put some tough bricks there just to get a look there. Like that could be kind of cool. I mean, that definitely adds some texture and variety, but I don't know if that's too plain. Like, is that just a little bit boring? Okay, what do we think of this? I don't think it's that bad. This is just the gray stained glass pane on the polished andesite. I always call this diorite. On the polished andesite, and it doesn't look bad. It kind of connects the polished deep slate look back with this one, which I do like. The only thing I don't love is I don't like the glass kind of ending like that on the top and the bottom. So maybe we do something, unless maybe we actually bring maybe we could bring the tough wall there, maybe? No, I don't really like that. I don't know what could do it, or maybe we just get a little bit of some maybe we do a combination of one of those and then 2 of these, and then maybe at the bottom we go slabs there, and then at the top here maybe we go and replace this with the stairs like so that way we have a cool little effect there. Okay. See, because now it looks a lot more detailed because on this wall it goes inside a little bit because of the tough brick walls here, but then on the diorite or andesite, sorry, it comes out a little bit more. Honestly, I think that's the way to go. I do really like that. Yeah. And with the wall now done, it is finally time that we start working on the back there. Yeah, so I don't really know what I want to do with the back over here. I would like to start designing the actual, like, where I want the path to go and the buildings to go and whatnot, but I don't think we can do that really until we figure out where we want this to go, because if we look in FreeCam from above, it kind of just ends in a weird spot right there. So I think we need to figure out exactly what we want to do with this area. So what if we walled off this back section here, kind of using maybe, I don't know if we're going to go with the exact same wall here, but definitely using the polished deep slate bricks here. And then what if in between like the section here, like maybe like right here in between the wall, we have kind of like a path going straight into this way that leads into this. So this will go all the way down to the same level as this down here, and then it'll kind of be like a cutout in the ground over here going up to there, which could be kind of interesting. And honestly, I do think I like that quite a bit. I think we're gonna go ahead and do that really quick. And here is what we did with the back area here. Now, instead of flattening the area like I mentioned previously, instead you can kind of see we carved out a little bit of like a little thing here instead. I don't really know what this would be called. I picture like, like the big bushes from the Harry Potter movies where like, in the forest and the Goblet of Fire movie. It's kind of similar to that, but the reason why I did that instead of lowering everything is because it gives us a chance to do something with the land over here, which is something that I would like to do. Now, I think what we're going to start off by doing is working on the paths. Now, I think for now we're going to be doing the normal path block. I don't know if we're going to be doing anything special. We might just use the path block. I really don't know yet. One thing that I do know for sure is I want to start the path coming from right here. The reason why I want to start it right here is because I would like to actually make a staircase. We actually have some stairs here, which we're probably going to have to redo this at some point. Because over here, obviously, we have the tower, so we're going to have a path coming from over here as well, which we probably need to do some terraforming, but we're going to have a path coming from over here. So this is one way to get into the area over here. And then we're going to have a path coming from this area over here that we just made from the farming district over to the main path. I don't know, honestly, if this path is going to be the exact same size throughout the entire thing. It very well might not be. And then what I would like to do is have another path right here connecting us from the storage district. So like I said, this is quite literally connecting everything that we've done so far. Quite literally, like I want to be able to walk from up there over to here, or from here all the way to over there. So that is what I would like to do. This path, see, I don't really know where I want this path to go, because I could just go straight and then turn, but I feel like I don't really want that. I kind of want a little bit of a turn, except what if we made this the main road, right? Like what we could do is we could make this one go straight down and then connect back this way, exactly like this. And then we make little side roads. So maybe we can have one going this way over here, right? And then what we'll end up having is kind of like, maybe we have enough space. So that will be one road there. Maybe we do another one. Maybe we do like another one there. And then we can put, maybe two small buildings there, or one massive building here. And then maybe we do a third one right here. And then that way it'll kind of just run through this way, which I do think works. And then I don't know if I want to do like one massive building over here, maybe like a factory building or something. I'm not too sure just yet, so that's why I haven't done anything here. Oh, maybe I actually saved this building and this is where the super smelter goes. This would be more than enough space for it, so maybe we will do that. Okay, so the next thing that I would like to work on is the lamps. Now, I want to have redstone lamps that turn on at night and turn off during the day, except I actually need to go into a creative world because, I need to show you something. Welcome to a creative super flat world. I should start off by saying I don't know much about redstone and I actually kind of hate it, so bear with me if I'm not explaining things that well. So in the past, when it came to making redstone lamps that turn on at day or at night only, basically what I would do is use something like this, or maybe like a wall block of some sort, right? Like maybe one of these, for example, here. And then I would basically just put a redstone lamp here and then a daylight sensor. And as you can see, it turns on automatically. It's daytime right now, but you can right click it and it'll only turn on at night. Now that's pretty cool, except I really like the way that these copper bulbs look. I just like them a whole lot more. They feel like it's gonna fit more with the city, I feel like. Except the problem is if I get rid of this here, if I place a button, you can see it turns on and turns off after. except this one, it stays on. So you can see the button stays. I can get rid of the button and it stays on. I need to actually press it again for it to turn off. And that's the problem. We basically will need to send a second signal to this one to turn it off when it becomes daytime. And I have a theory. I don't know if it's going to work. I think I have an idea on how to make that work. Okay, so let's place the bulb down here. I think what we can do is if we place a redstone, a repeater. Did I just call this a repeater? I meant to say a daylight sensor. If we place a daylight sensor here, we're going to set this to night, okay? And then we're going to place an observer facing into this. And then let's try placing redstone over here. So what this should do, I think, is when it becomes nighttime, this line will activate, which turns it on. I don't know if this will have an effect on this over here. Like it might turn it off and then turn it on, then turn it off. What I was hoping what happens when it becomes daytime and this turns off, this would detect it and send the signal to turn this off. Let's see. So let's set the time really quick to 20,000, which would be night. And it does turn on. Okay. And then let's go ahead and turn it back to daytime. Oh, it does work. Okay. Is that because of the observer? Maybe we don't need it. Let's see what happens. If we go back to 20,000, it turns on, and then 6,000, and it doesn't turn off. Okay. So let's quickly turn it back. Oh, now it turns off. Okay. Yeah, that is, brilliant. Okay, so let's see if we put this here and put this back. So it's on and then back to 6,000, it's off. Okay, so I was right in the fact that the observer detects when this turns off and then sends us another signal to here. Now your first thought is, well, G1, you did it. You figured it out. Let's go build it. Except this doesn't really look like a lamppost, does it? No, it doesn't. So we're going to need to figure out a way to condense this even more. And this is the most condensed way that I was able to think of. I really don't know what we're going to do. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's try something a little bit different. Let's place the daylight sensor here. We're going to set it to night, of course. Let's place an observer down here. Okay, and then see, I don't even think that this will turn on. Even if I set this to daytime right now, yeah, that's not going to turn on. So I have to have this like this. So, okay, so it has to be, we have to have redstone here, which I don't really mind if you can see the redstone, honestly, because we're going to see it from down here anyway. So it doesn't really matter. But now we need to get this signal to these blocks here. And I don't know how to do that. Wait, can't redstone go through blocks? I want to quickly test something. So let's get a lamp there. We're going to place a block through here. Because I'm pretty sure a signal can travel through this. Okay. And then let's just quickly turn this on. Oh, okay. So it can. That's how it works. Okay. But okay. Can it go up? Let's see if we threw this, it even goes up. So that should be as simple. Wait. So we should just be able to like put blocks here. And then I think that should be it. Let's quickly set it to nighttime again. And okay, they turn on. That's good. Let's get rid of this one here. Just because I want to see what happens here. So when we turn it to daytime, what should happen is this light or this piece of dust should activate because of the observer here. And it's going to go through all these blocks up and then activate. Let's see if that works. So let's go back to 6,000. Oh, it did. That's exactly what it worked. Oh, that is pretty good. I do like that because this looks a lot more like a lamp than this. Like I can work with this. Heck, we can even get some like fences or even some walls and like whatever actually, and we can, you know, make this look a little bit better, right? Like even that doesn't look that bad. I'm gonna take this as a win because yeah, I can work with this, right? Like I can make this work, and then, you know, maybe we have this like going into the ground or something like that. Like maybe we'll do something like this, and then you know, we can get like stairs or something, or, you know, we don't even have to make it look exactly like this, but we can make this work. Absolutely, positively, we can make this work because this looks a lot more like it than that. And honestly, I do like the thicker design, like rather than just having like a, you know, something like this here where it's kind of a little bit boring, right? This looks like it's a little bit more industrial, which kind of fits the city vibe that I would like to go for. I take this as a win. You know, I'm no mumbo jumbo, but I tried my very best with the very limited redstone knowledge that I've learned from you guys in the live stream chat, and I'm proud of myself for doing that. So I'm very excited. We're going to quickly go ahead and gather some resources. I'm going to do something different, and I'm going to do a resource gathering time lapse. What? I know, me? That's crazy. I'm going to try it really quick. Let's hope it's entertaining. I hope it's entertaining. But I'm honestly mostly just excited because I figured out the redstone thing by myself. I'm so excited. Oh man. Okay, we got work to do. Let's go collect these resources because they're not going to collect themselves. That wasn't so bad as a time lapse, right? Okay, maybe I need to work on it, but one thing that I definitely want to work on is the lampposts. So the main blocks I would like to use for the main lampposts are actually the pale moss block, which you saw me gather, some of the leftover andesite, and also the spruce wood, which you also saw me gather. And I think we'll start working on one. Maybe we'll go right here, I think. So the idea is that I don't want any building to start until this layer right here at the very least. Maybe honestly even going back 3 blocks like so. So that gives us like a little bit of space here. Let's actually keep these blocks here. Let's assume that this is a building here, okay? Let's just like keep these blocks here. That way we can see like how much space we actually have. So I think I wanted to go on the edge of the path like this. So I think we'll start off by going like this. And then I would like to go into this kind of block theme here. I do like that, yes. And then, oh, how did we have it again? We had it going like this. And I guess here we'll also go with the blocks here. So something kind of like that could be cool. And then obviously this is where we'll have the bulbs going. The one thing I actually don't know is if redstone can go through the moss blocks here. So let's quickly try it. Oh yeah, it seems to be working just fine. So we'll set those to nighttime like there. And then I think what I would like to do is kind of just decorate this a little bit here. So I like the idea of using the fence posts like we did in the beginning. You see, that's not bad. I just feel like it's a little bit boring, and honestly I kind of feel like maybe we don't make this one be the block there. Like maybe we'll make this be like the andesite or something, because yeah, I'm just not feeling the I'm not feeling the wood going there. So yeah, I think we'll put that there, and then we'll put this back going here, which that should still work, right? Okay, we didn't break anything too crazy. Yeah, I think I like the way that this looks overall, except maybe let's try doing something a little bit different. What if we get rid of the slabs there, and instead we get the spruce shelves here? I do like these new blocks, and then maybe we have it going kind of something like this. I actually do like the way that that looks. Is it one? I wonder if it's a good idea to put stairs over here, because like that could be kind of cool to have it like look like it's like in the ground like this. And then I like, because you go over here, you can still see this in the ground over here. I do actually like this. The only thing I need to fix is these things right here, because I don't really love that. Other than that, I actually think that this is pretty cool. Now, before we continue with the rest of the lanterns here, I actually want to do kind of what we did over here, and I actually want to mark out where I want the buildings to go. Actually, I'm going to switch it to smooth stone instead of spruce, but the reason why I want to do the buildings first, and for the backside over here, I'm kind of just following the trim over here. It's kind of just like for the front areas over here, that's where I'll go with the, you know, the 3-in rule, so we'll kind of go something like this. But the reason why I want to do this now is because not only do I want to put in the lampposts and have space for them as well, I also would like to replace the grass over here with the moss. I'm still debating if I want to transform the entire area that we've been working on, like this entire section maybe over here, into moss. I don't really know just yet. And I'm kind of using this area as an experiment if I would like to see moss everywhere, because I like the look of moss a little bit more than I do grass. So maybe it could be kind of cool. Plus, maybe we can use the moss decorations. I don't know if I have any of them. I don't have them, but you can use like the azalea with like the actual moss blocks to make some cool like little bushes and things like that. So I do overall like it. Alrighty, all of the buildings are in place, and let's just quickly get a scope of how many buildings we actually have. That is quite a lot. One thing you'll see that I did is I kept with the theme of having 3 blocks in for each building. So as you can see, everywhere except even in the middle here, there's 3 blocks here. Now I don't think we're gonna have a lamp in the middle here, but just for the moss purposes here, I do think that this is gonna be quite interesting. Now, one thing that you might have noticed that I did was I actually said that I wanted I think it was this entire area here to be factory, like a giant factory building for the super smelter. You can actually see there are now actually more roads here, and that's because I've decided that I think the factory should go kind of in the back area over here, kind of like away from all the main buildings, because if you think about it, there's only 2 buildings in the way over here of the factory, and then the rest of it can be, you know, like skyscraper towers and whatnot, which I think would be kind of cool. Okay, I think it is time to lock in and start doing all of the decorations. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully it turns out pretty good. Alrighty, I have returned, and as you can see, I have a lot more of these in place now. Something that's actually kind of interesting as well is these lights actually don't provide enough light at the bottom over here. So on the bottoms over here, I did have to put in some glow lichen here, which I actually kind of like, and I've been really enjoying glow lichen lately, because one thing I did in my live stream was I actually put some glow lichen on the side of the river over here. You can kind of see a couple over there and a couple of pieces like right here. And one thing that I really like about it is that it gives enough light to stop mobs from spawning, but it gives an equal amount of light. Like, it's not as bright as torches or these lights here, so it doesn't take away from these lights here, but it provides just enough where the rest of the city is lit up. I've been really enjoying that, honestly. Now, I've decided that for this video, we are going to work on all of the buildings. I didn't know if we were going to do maybe just a couple of buildings in today's episode or whatnot. I think we're going to go ahead and detail all of them, except for the interior. We're not going to detail the interior because, kind of like the storage district over here, I almost forgot the name of this for a second. I want to be able to put different farms in these buildings. And for example, like I said, in that back building there, I want to make it the super smelter, but I don't really want to do that in today's episode because we're kind of running up the clock here. But before we go ahead and work on the buildings, there's actually a couple more decorations with this area that I would like to do with you guys really quick. So one thing I want to try getting is some of these azalea and the flowering azalea. We're going to grab some moss carpet and some moss blocks here, and we're going to try making some shrubbery. Now, one thing that I really enjoy doing, we're just going to use the normal azalea here, is if we put this right here, and then we can go up, we can usually go 1 here. See, that's actually not bad. What if we did 2 blocks here, right? Ooh, that's not bad, although we could do a variety, actually. And then maybe like on this side over here, maybe we do with the flowering azalea, and then we go here, and then we make this one only 1 here. Yeah, you see, I do like that. And then also another thing I'm doing is I'm putting the moss carpet on the top. That way I don't have to worry about mob spawning on them and whatnot. It just kind of looks cool. And you don't really see it as well. It still just looks like it's a normal block there or a normal block there. Yeah, I really like the way that it looks. I like that in these areas here that don't really have buildings here, there's a lot more. And then as you get to the streets, it kind of like lowers. There's only 1 every couple. I really do like this. And there's one more thing I would like to try with you guys really quick. So let's quickly place a block of dirt there, and then we're gonna actually grow ourselves one of these azalea trees here. And we get these kind of lush leaves here, which I think these are probably one of my favorite leaves, honestly. I like the way that they just, I like the way these look. And then what I would like to do is not as much as these things here, but I do want to try just putting something like this up. I think could be kind of cool. And I like that, like with our texture back here that makes it look bushy, it's not as flat as this one here, which I do really like. Yeah, I don't think I want them everywhere. I like the idea that I have a couple here and there. Also, one thing you have to consider as well is the fact that we are going to have buildings being built here. So like you can't see that one over there. So I think it'll make it a lot more exciting when you're walking through the city and you find one right here, right? I think it'll be a lot more, I think I like that a lot more than just kind of putting it everywhere like I did these. And then the last thing I want to do is actually use some of the short grass here and kind of just put this over here. It's a lot easier to put grass on moss manually when you can just grab the grass like this, because when you bone meal it, you do get the azalea and you get all like the other stuff, which I don't really like. I like the kind of controlledness of this, and I don't want to put it everywhere. I do like having flat patches, but just little patches here of, you know, grass here, I think could be kind of cool. Maybe especially around the bushes here and like the trees that we kind of put here. I think that these could be the best spots for it, right? Yeah, I do like the way that this is looking. Maybe we'll put a couple like under here and whatnot, but overall, I do like how it's mostly moss in like the main area over here. And then as you get to like the sides over here, then it becomes a little bit more grassy and stuff like that. Oh man, I love the way that this area looks. I think we're at the point now where it's time for me to seriously lock in. We have quite a lot of buildings that we have to do today. We have how many? Like 6 here, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 buildings that I need to design today. Boy, this is going to be this is gonna be an interesting one. Maybe I don't do all of them today. I'm not too sure. Maybe I won't do all of them today. I would like to try and get them all done, but we'll see how long it takes, and if I end up you know, not wanting to do it, maybe we won't do it. But man, I am honestly quite excited to see what this entire area looks like when we have a couple of buildings built up. Oh man, I'm so excited. Let's just cue the time lapse, okay? I know. You're thinking, G1, what the heck? That was only 2 buildings in the time lapse, and you said you were going to do the entire city. What are you doing? Well, when I said that I was going to do all of the buildings, I kind of forgot one tiny little detail. I don't have all of the blocks that I need. Like, at all. I think I'm going to be doing that in the upcoming live stream where I'm just going to be gathering a bunch of resources, or maybe I'll do that off camera. I don't know, but I don't have that much resources. The only resource I have like in bulk that I would be able to build with is copper. And that's only because I recently raided a trial chamber to get the copper for the bulbs. Other than that, like the things like the moss, the spruce, the mangrove, which I actually had to go get whilst building this, the blackstone, the tuff, the deep slate, I have to go get more of, unfortunately. However, this video is long enough. I am now satisfied with the length of this video. And actually, speaking of videos, I would like to have a little bit of a talk with you guys, not Minecraft related. This is going to be the final video of 2025, and I don't know if you guys could tell, I tried to do something a little bit different with this video. I'm trying to get better at using flashback for more, I guess, special and unique time lapses and whatnot. I'm also trying to get better with music and things like that, and also doing more in the videos. Basically, going into 2026, I'm not going to be doing a weekly release. Like, I'm going to try to, don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to set like a specific date. Like I'm not going to be doing every Thursday, kind of like how I've been doing. Instead, I would rather focus on the quality of the video and the quantity of what we're doing in the video, because I would like to be doing more, like kind of like how we did here. I feel like this is so more than we've done in a normal video. Like I did all of the flattening, we did the walls, we placed out where we want the path to go, we placed out where we want the buildings to go, we did a couple of the buildings, we did all the details that I want here. Like I feel like we did do quite a lot, and I want to do something kind of like this going into 2026, right? Like I want to be doing either bigger projects or projects that I can get a lot more in each video done, and that way I have a little bit more time to work on the quality of the video. I have had an amazing time editing this video so far. This is probably one of the first videos ever where I've watched it multiple times and haven't gotten bored with it, and that's a good thing. So I'm very, very excited for 2026. But I just want to thank you guys so much for the support in 2025, especially because there were a couple of periods, actually 2 periods exactly, where I didn't have a setup and I couldn't record anything. So I had to take like a month, maybe a month and a half break, depending on which one we're talking about here, of a break. And that killed me, honestly. Like I missed making content. But now that I'm back and, doing the live streams and stuff like that and focusing on, again, the quality of these videos, I'm so ready for 2026. To think that I started this year less than 500 subscribers, and now we're almost at 570-ish. I think we're like 560 something right now, which is insane to think about. And I just want to thank you again so much for the support this year, and I hope you guys are enjoying the videos, and I hope that you guys join me on this journey going into 2026. But like I said, that is going to be the last video you get from me this year. You'll get a video hopefully very early on next year, and I'm very excited for that. But thank you again for this journey. Thank you again for being a part of my content creation journey. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As the sun sets in the background, so does this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, consider leaving a like and smashing that subscribe button. That is the best way to support me. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your year, and I will see you guys in 2026.